Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to talk about an experiment I did to determine whether using an expensive product can offset using a cheaper product elsewhere in your hair routine. I think we all assume that spending more money equals better results in the hair care community, but stick around, you might be surprised by my results. I tried 4 combinations. One with 2 cheap products and one with 2 expensive products, and then I mixed cheap with expensive. I also tried to balance for protein and moisture by using conditioners with no protein and gels that had high protein. 2 important points before I get to it. 1. I bought all the products with my own money. This is not a sponsored review in any way, and I don't represent any brands. 2. All hair is different. I have low porosity, minimally heat damaged hair that is kind of oily. These products might not behave the same way for you. They don't even behave the same way for me on a daily basis. The first product combo is the least expensive, the VO5 Strawberries and Cream with the LA Looks Sport Gel. VO5 Strawberries and Cream is about $1.50 depending on where you look. It comes in a 370 ml bottle, and I use about 15 milliliters every time I wash. If I wash 3.5 times a week or about every other day, that means that I have enough in one bottle for 7 weeks. To get enough for a whole year, or 52 weeks, I would need to spend $11.14. The LA Looks Gel is about $2 a bottle. There are 20 ounces in a bottle. I use about 15 milliliters of this gel per wash, but I don't know how many ounces equal a milliliter, so I can't calculate how much I would use in a year. To compare it to the other gel, we'll just compare the price because I used about the same amount of the other gel. After scrunching in my gel a lot longer than I show in this video, then I towel dry it a little longer than I show in this video, and then I'm going to diffuse it pretty much the same way that Mell does in the video I've linked if you want a tutorial on diffusing. Basically, I dry the roots first in all the different directions, and then when the roots are dry, then I diffuse the ends. I diffused it until it was about 70% dry, and then add a little bit more gel, which is known as the Smaster's method. After that, let it air dry the rest of the way. I'm going to give this product combination a peak score. Using a product evaluation method I developed to rate 5 qualities I care about. My curl clumps are kind of stringy. I gave it a 2 out of 3. My hair is not weighed down, but it doesn't have extra volume, so for weight I give it a 2. For dryness I gave it a 1 out of 3. My hair felt pretty dry with this combo. For longevity, I give it a 1 out of 3. It didn't really hold up until the next day. For frizz, I give it a 2 out of 3, which means there are some minor areas of frizz, like the one that I'm going to show you right here. In total, this combination gets an 8 out of possible 15 points. Not terrible, but not perfect. Compared to the other combos, it's losing points for dryness and frizziness. In case you were wondering, I got the idea to make a product rating system from watching Doug DeMuro's car videos. My next combo is the LA Looks Sport Gel for $2 with a Matrix Biolage Hydrasource conditioner that costs about $20 depending. It comes in a 280 ml bottle. Conservatively, I use half a mil, probably less, per wash. If I wash 3.5 times a week, that comes down to $6.50 a year. It should last for 160 weeks. I was pretty happy with this combo. For clumps, I give it a 3. I have more curl clumps than I have stringiness. For weight, I give it a 3. It feels pretty springy. It has a good amount of volume. For dry versus softness, I give it a 2. It feels a little dry. For frizz, I give it a 3. It has minimal frizz at the ends. And for longevity, I give it a 2. It refreshed pretty well the next day. This combo gets a final score of 13 out of 15. It loses points for dryness, but it gains points for volume, longevity, and curl clumps more than any other combination I'm going to talk about today. My next combo is Jessicurl Spiralicious Gel with VO5 Strawberries on one half of my head and Matrix Biolage Hydrasource on the other half. In bulk, Spiralicious is $43 for 32 ounces. Compare with LA Looks, which is $2 for 20 ounces. To do the math, Spiralicious would be $26 for 20 ounces, or over 10 times more expensive than the LA Looks gel. One bottle of VO5 is a lot cheaper than Matrix Biolage, but Matrix Biolage goes a lot farther because you use less. Here's my Spiralicious Gel. That's a sample packet that I bought myself for $1.50. I used all 15 milliliters of it, and in retrospect probably used a bit too much. Here's the VO5 Spiralicious side. I'll give you the score for that first. For curl clumps, I give it a 2 out of 3. It's a little stringy. For weight, I give it a 2 out of 3. It's not overly weighed down, but it's not really springy either. For dryness versus softness, I give it a 3. It's very soft. For frizz, I give it a 2. There's a little bit of frizz. For longevity, I give it a 1. It's not going to refresh well the next day. In total, it gets a 10 out of 15. For the Matrix Biolage side, for clumps, I give it a 2 out of 3. I was a little disappointed that I had some stringiness. For weight, I gave it a 2 out of 3. It's not overly weighed down, but it doesn't have a lot of volume. I was a little disappointed here too. For dryness versus softness, I give it a 3. It's very soft. This is good. And for frizz, I give it a 3 out of 3. This was very good. There was almost no frizz. For longevity, I give it a 1. It feels like it's not going to refresh well tomorrow. It's going to be stringy. This combination gets a somewhat disappointing 11. For me, Spiralicious Gel lost points because my hair was stringy. In retrospect, this was the beginning of a polyquat buildup problem. It did gain points for making my hair very soft. And I'm back. 2 important takeaways from this experiment. Number 1. Even if your hair is a little bit dry, the moisturizing step can be an important place to invest in quality ingredients. And that can be wherever it works best for you, in the conditioning, the leave-in, or a curl cream step. For me, the Matrix Biolage conditioner consistently gave me better results with less frizz. Number 2, know how ingredients affect your hair. This is usually done by trial and error, and preferably before you spend $17 on a bottle of gel. I've suspected polyquats buildup on my hair for a while now, but I didn't think it would happen this quickly. I wasn't really able to judge the performance of the Spiralicious Gel because it gave me such dramatic buildup, or more accurately, pushed a simmering problem of mine over the edge. This gel works well for a lot of people, just not for me. I hope this inspires you in your own experimenting, and as always, stay curly.